What are my top 3 altcoins going into quarter 4 that I'm going to be using to make millions of dollars? Now, make sure you're subscribed, smash the like button, and let me know what you guys want to see next. I just want to bring you a very time-sensitive market update because obviously we're on the brisk of a shutdown with the government. We have FTX releasing about $5 billion worth of, I believe it's stablecoins, pretty much injected back into the crypto market. And we're coming up on quarter 4, which I think is going to be very bullish. So with all of this, considered, I think that whenever it comes to quarter 4, you want to look at what has been a very strong narrative throughout the whole bull run. And I think that 2 of them you cannot ignore is Solana and SUI. Now, Solana in particular, I'm very bullish on because we have a lot of these DAT companies, which basically they're the treasuries, and they're basically the SEC is also updating their filings with the spot ETF listings, I should say. That's going to be greenlit for, I believe, the second week of October. And that's going to allow all sorts of people to start investing directly into Solana. And you also see a lot of these treasury companies accumulating Solana as much as they can recently. So I think that there's going to be a lot of strong bullish momentum for Solana. Now, SUI has been I would say the darling of this cycle. It's been a very strong favorite amongst not just investors, but also hedge funds and a lot of just different sorts of I guess you could say like talking heads in crypto, like they all have a general consensus that SUI is just a very strong performative layer 1 that also implements stablecoins, which in my opinion, I think that we're going to reset the whole sort of debt with either Bitcoin or stablecoins. And I think that when you look at everything together, it will all make sense. And I think that you can't ignore those 2. Now, another altcoin that's very speculative, I would not suggest putting all your money into this. I don't actually give financial advice, but I can just show you what's on my radar. Aster. Aster is a Binance/CZ backed decentralized perpetuals exchange meant to basically compete against things like Hyperliquid or things on Solana, anything like that. And they have a lot of bullish momentum. There's a lot of talks about it. You cannot fade CZ. He's like the #1 KOL of crypto. And so those are my 3 favorite altcoins. I think going into quarter 4, obviously I think that we're still going to see a rotation back into meme coins. I think that everybody calling them dead right now is usually a good sign that it's a time to start kind of speculating a little bit more, at least from my personal opinion. Like that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to focus majority of my holdings into the layer 1s that I think are going to massively outperform. And then obviously go a little bit further down the risk curve when it comes to trying to get a little more return going into the last phase of this bull cycle. Now, a few things to note. I think that the shutdown that the US government is facing right now, I do think that it's going to initially be looked at as bad, but I think that this is a very thought out plan by Trump where he's going to force the hands of the Democratic Party to either make them look bad, or it's going to be an excuse to print more money or stimulate the US economy. So I do lean kind of bullish on this, like in the short to medium term. I do think that quarter 4 historically is a very good time for people to be in the crypto cycle. I think that that's where most of the money is made. And I wouldn't really be shaken out if you've came this far, just in my opinion, to just, get scared out of the markets. Another thing is FTX is going to be injecting basically $5 billion worth of liquidity from their liquidations and their bankruptcy back in 2022. Which in my opinion is going to be very good when it comes to the crypto markets because that's going to allow liquidity for investors. Now, hope this content helps you. I'd be curious to know what your altcoins are going into quarter 4, and I'll always continue to ask me your crypto questions. I'll see y'all soon.